Hey, everybody. I just got a question from somebody. People send in questions, so you can always feel free to send in questions. This one really struck me, and I want to speak to it a little bit. Dear Charlie, my husband is really great at taking care of me. He has a great business and is always busy, but all of my physical needs but all my physical needs are met. He does not get it that I just want him to be present. No amount of telling him helps. He always says he needs to work a lot so I can have this lifestyle. Personally, I don't mind compromising on the lifestyle if it means I have a husband and my kids have more of a father. I don't like when people throw money at me. I'd rather the time. I think he's using the taking care of me as an excuse to always be gone. Do you have a different way of seeing this? I got to tell you, I was really struck by this. And I was struck by this because of the amount of times that um, I've seen this. And I'm not even a therapist. I can only imagine the level of how many people are saying this. I remember once being at a speech speaking about God as our father, and a woman came to me in tears afterwards that her father was this really big communal leader, really the talk of the town, the benefactor, and literally in tears. And all she wants and supports her and her lifestyle and her husband, and she doesn't want any of it. She just wants her dad, right? Like it's just incredible how many look around at other family members and just want them. I remember when I was young, somebody called me. I was involved in an organization, and he called me and he suggested that I drop it. And I asked him why, and he said because his father-in-law is a big communal leader, and his wife grew up without a dad. It's not worth it. Stuff like that. So I want to share with you a concept. Of course, anything that I get from people greater than me, and this is sort of based on a lot of the advice that I got from my rabbis, I believe in others, and it really maybe can give some thought to this. This is a difficult concept, and the woman who emailed me asked me for advice, and my answer is I don't have any advice for you. You're good, like you're good. You should want your husband. Like yes, don't give up on wanting a husband, and don't give up on your kids wanting a dad. So I don't know if your husband will watch this, but maybe. And for all the regular people out there, husbands, whoever, that are really ambitious, nothing wrong with your ambition, nothing wrong with trying to make a difference in this world. In fact, it's very noble. And it's very noble to see past yourself. There's a lot of people out there whose entire existence is for themselves and their family. And then that's not necessarily the right way either. But I want to share with you maybe a concept to think about. There's a difference between being an inside out leader and an outside in leader. And they're very different. An outside in leader is somebody who draws his identity, or her, whatever, his or her identity from the outside. And there are people like this, in which their identity is in many ways hooked into the outside world. They feel their self-worth by how other people perceive them. If they look nice, if they get dressed and they wear a new dress, let's say, they don't know how they look, and they don't have any skills to tell them how they look. They go outside and they go to the party, they go to wherever they go. And when someone says you look good, they say, I look good. So they don't have the inside out gene. It's an outside in, right? When they put themselves on social media, they judge the success of their activity based on how many likes or friends they get, right? When they look at their success and their accomplishments, they look at it in the context of what they have vis-a-vis what the world sees they have. And these people, they're wonderful, they're ambitious, but they walk down a very scary road. And it's a road that leads to borrowing money that you don't have, to buy things that you can't afford, to show a life that you really don't have, which is a huge, huge, huge risk. And it leads to getting involved in things that you really don't have time for, but you need to, not because you want to change the world or make it different, but because that's what everyone else is doing. What happens to outside in leaders is they firm their identity with the outside world, and they don't spend enough time building their insides. They don't spend enough time developing the skills and the habits and the comfort and the satisfaction with a life that is private, a life that is quiet, a life that nobody knows about. And here's the secret. The outside will never be satisfied with you, ever. The more exposed you are, the more competition arises. If you make it, someone else wants to make it. The more you want likes and you get them, the more you'll need more likes. The more you need someone to tell you how good you look, will be always someone who doesn't tell you that. The outside world cares about itself collectively and not about you. And as much as you accomplish in the outside world, you will never be satisfied, ever. And in fact, I have seen people that have gone a lifetime of outside world success only to get to the end when they need to slow down because of age or something else, and looking around and feeling incredibly empty because they've never built anything on the inside. Then there are inside out leaders. Inside out leaders are people that spend time on themselves. They have quiet time. They do things that nobody knows about. They build their own internal energy called their soul in ways that grow them inside. If they've been blessed with a wife or a husband, they ensure that that wife or husband has enough. If they've been blessed with children, they make sure those children, doesn't mean that it's always like that. Doesn't mean they always at every single game. Okay, they're balancing a life, but they know at the end of the day, that wife, those kids, that husband, the family knows that they're number one because they are number one, because they've been given a family. The outside world usually is what they want to do. What they need to do is take care of the inside. And that usually looks like time doing things that is quiet, that is away, doing things that no one knows about, finding the place inside themselves where they're self-aware, building their own abilities to judge their success based on their own values, regardless of what the world thinks, creating a relationship with God and really hoping that God's proud of them more than the world is proud of them. Now, if you're an inside out leader, usually when you build yourself, it goes outside and you need to be outside and you have success outside, but it never defines, it never becomes you because your inside is full. You see this all the time. People that are inside out leaders that are very much outside, but the inside pieces themselves, God, their family, never fail. And they never get lost in that process of changing the world around them. And so for the ambitious ones that are out there, don't become outside-in leaders. Don't become outside-in players. It'll never leave you to life satisfaction. What will happen is you'll think that the reason why you're not unsatisfied is because you need more on the outside. Build inside. Build who you are. Take care of the people around you first, and you'll find yourself having a strength and an ability and a wisdom and resilience to be able to be even more accomplished on the outside.